welcome to Coffee with Ken. It's your fault.
It's your fault.
It's never my fault.
We're going to talk about that today. We want to blame people. Anyway, welcome to Coffee with Ken. I'm here with Ken Brown. He's CEO of Destiny Global. And I'm here with Butch McCracken, where it is his fault.
His fault.
He is general manager here at Destiny Global. And I am Dr. April Brown, and I am Executive Vice President of Coaching here at Destiny Global. And
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to you. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. And yeah, we tend to do that. Have you heard your kids do that before? It's their fault.
Always.
My brother did it. My sister did it.
He made me do it.
He made me do it. The devil made me do it.
That's even worse.
That is absolutely right.
We have all been there.
It's been a quick go-to.
Yeah. But what does that really do? What happens when we just blame the other person? Does anything get resolved?
Never.
Never.
No.
If you don't take ownership of your problems, you're not going to change them. You have to take it, you have to own it, and you have to change it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So true. So true.
Yeah.
And if anything we see around us going on in patterns, then usually what's going on?
It's us.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
us.
It's
We gotta look at ourselves.
It's Butch.
Well, I've always said that in the midst of any issues you have, if there's multiples, there's one common denominator in all those issues, and that is yourself.
Yes.
Yes. It's
That
so
is
true.
yourself.
That is true.
Yeah. So, like, what do you do if that's really kind of, you've seen that pattern in your life and you tend to blame other people and that is kind of your go-to thing? Because it's hard to, like, look at ourselves
Mm-hmm.
and deal with ourselves. It's so much easier to just blame the other person and look at them. But how do you really change that pattern if that's something that you're seeing that you pretty much do, of blaming other people?
Well, I mean, if I can, one of the things that, for myself, that I've had to work on over the years is realizing if someone brings something to my attention, no matter what I think, or if there was a situation that happened, whether I provoked it, I had anything to do with it, I always look at it to see where I can own something in that, right? Was it my reaction? Was it words that I had no idea that they would be received that way? What did I do to provoke in that other person the feelings that are going on? Now, ultimately, we're not responsible for somebody else's feelings, but in those situations, odds are you can take some ownership in that. But you have to stop, put down your ego, because that's the big one.
That is the big thing. Right there. You just hit it on the...
Drop the ego. I didn't do anything. What can I own in this? Look for something. You're going to find it. And whether that other person offers apologies or acknowledges you or whatever it is, that's not the purpose of why you're doing it, right? You're doing it to take the ownership, big, small, whatever it is, upon yourself.
So true.
And 9 times out of 10, the other person will react accordingly.
Yeah.
Where if I've gone in plenty of times and gone, I didn't do anything. Well, that's not what I meant. Doesn't matter.
I've told you for 29 years.
29 years,
Yeah.
right?
Have you heard that before?
I have. I was just reading a book and actually texted my wife the verse a couple weeks ago. Not the verse, but the sentence in it from the Bait of Satan from John Bevere. And it's about offense, right? I might have know a tour thing about offense. But it said, often we judge others by their actions and ourselves by our intentions.
So true. That's very true.
That is true.
Right?
It
and
is.
I saw stars. I got hit so hard upside the head,
Uh-oh.
From myself.
Yeah.
And that is so true.
Yes.
Like, we always think our intentions are always good. But somebody else, your actions. We don't care about intentions.
Right.
So focusing in on what I can own in a situation, no matter what it is, and understanding that person's heart,
That's actually really good counsel, Butch, because
Mhm.
that's where it starts.
Yeah.
And sometimes we just will plow through people because we did not consider their intentions, and especially certain personality types. When you take offense to something, usually it's going to be pushed to the side and not dealt with. And
Yeah.
we need to own and take responsibility for it because it's what brings relationships back together, and it's one of our core teachings. And
Yeah.
really learning the process of reconciliation.
Mm.
And quite frankly, we have some of the best training in the world on that, and really getting back and just rebuilding relationships that can get deteriorated over time because of one thing or another. It happens to all of us.
Yeah.
It really does. And sometimes we can't see past our own issues because we're not being self-aware, because we're working so hard to try to get something done. And I've done that on more than one occasion and had to go back and apologize to people and say, you know what, I'm sorry. And typically when I've done that, you know what's happened?
What?
They've apologized back to me.
Reaping and sowing.
It's just true because we're all at fault typically in a situation where something blows up. There's enough guilt to go around for everybody to have a piece of it. It's like a puzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody did something to provoke another person and they did it. And sometimes you didn't do those things intentionally.
Yes.
Especially people that have had past issues or trauma or any circumstances. When you do that, it can trigger an emotion in them. And sometimes you don't know how to handle it. And I've seen that on more than one occasion as well, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And just thinking of that when you said that about reaping and sowing, it's a literal reaping and sowing. If you apologize, they'll turn around and apologize.
Right.
If you get defensive and you try to blame, they will get defensive with you.
Yeah.
Like literally, you will get right back what you just gave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your posturing of like, hey, I'm going to take ownership in this. Like, what is mine? Not taking all of it. Like,
Right.
just literally what you can take.
Sure.
And being very sincere with that. Just like, I shouldn't have said it that way. I shouldn't have responded that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then,
That's good.
and sometimes we wait for, well, they're the first one that said, and then I was just responding. But you did respond in a way that created the conflicts and
Yeah.
kept it going. So it's just
Yeah.
owning it.
For sure.
Well, it's Ronald Reagan. There was a saying that he did. I was reading just the other day. Former President Ronald Reagan. He made a statement that was so profound. He says, I can't change everything, but I can change the things that are within my control.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's important to note. There's some portions you can't force someone else to forgive you either. But what you can do is approach in kindness and seek forgiveness and reconciliation.
Mm-hmm.
When that happens, it's such a healthy thing. And it actually makes relationships stronger.
Oh, no, for sure.
It does. It makes relationships, because you know you can work through things and you can trust that person, right? It builds trust.
And sometimes I think we try so hard to be our own advocate, right? Advocate for ourselves in those situations.
Yeah.
And I've realized that, it's our Father in heaven who is our advocate,
Yes.
Yeah.
not me. And
Yeah.
he can do a better job, trust me, than I can.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. But
yeah.
it's also looking just not at surface level, but really going deeper
Yeah.
to learn, like, to understand better and accept where someone's at and that we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know what people are going through.
because
So
we're
true.
good at putting
The
facades
pers-
on.
It's so
Especially
true.
when we just are at the grocery store, and somebody has a reaction to us, and we get so mad, or we're driving and somebody, can be responding, and it's just like we have no idea, like, what news they could have just gotten or why they're doing that. Like,
Yeah.
what is going on with them. So it's really just understanding that we don't walk in people's shoes.
Yeah.
So true.
That's good.
It's a very good word. It's a
Yeah.
really good word. It's all about taking, owning, and changing it.
Mm.
But
For sure.
it's so important to remember that we are always, maybe not right then, that's an example of right then we're reaping what we've sown, but often it's not right then. And that reaping and sowing, the law of reaping and sowing, is we will always get more than we have. Just like a seed.
Yeah.
You don't just get one
Tiny little.
one fruit that grows up. It's like a tree, and there's
Yeah.
lots of fruit, and it's
It is
either
true.
good fruit or it's bad fruit.
It is true.
Yeah.
That is very
So,
true.
Yeah.
So we want to
Very
sow
good.
good and not bad.
Yes.
But that's all related to personal development. Isn't that what we do here? Yes, it is.
We do have an event that is actually coming up in April.
Yes.
So, very exciting. April 14th through 16th, our event, First Steps to Success. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be in Dallas.
It's going to
at
be great.
The Hilton of
Hilton
Dallas
and Park Cities.
Park Cities.
Yes.
And it's just going to be an amazing event where our trainers are just like working hard to make this the best event yet each time. Like, how can we make this better? And so
we got a few tricks up our sleeve.
Yeah. So the information is below. Click on that. Get your tickets because we want to see you there so that you can, here we are in March. We're in March now. And
marching forward,
but we started the first of the year and it's like, woo, we're taking off on our goals and all of that stuff, and then we kind of start falling backwards. We need to press back in and keep going, keep moving forward. It's not just in January 1st. It's like continually, like, how can I continue to grow and press in? So we want to see you there, and get your tickets down below, and be sure to join us next time on Coffee with Ken. Like and share this so that we can get the word out, so that people can hear just in between the week, just get a little pick-me-up. So thank y'all for joining us here on Coffee with Ken, and we will see y'all next time.
Have a great day.
Have a great day.
Thanks, gang.